for the church, people ask me all the time, well, what can we do to help? How can we be more loving to the gay community? And there's a jillion ways. You know, put aid services for Austin in your budget. You know, no strings attached. Just do it. You can even volunteer in organizations like that. You can have fundraisers for organizations like that. There's a little-known ministry in town. It's not a Christian ministry, I don't think, but it's called Out Youth Austin. I know Michael Dell supports it financially. It's for young people that just feel they have no place to be, that struggle. And, you know, it's just a small house, but it's a gathering place where they can be comfortable and not feel awkward and those kind of things. You know, I think the church needs to get involved with that. No hard evangelism or anything like that, but just take them where they are. Show them support. You don't even have to say you're a Christian. You know, just love on them. I've seen churches do that, and it changes lives. Gateway Church here in Austin, you know, there was a couple of women that went just to stir things up. They thought, oh, well, you know, we'll hold hands, we'll hug on each other. We might even kiss at church, and we'll get thrown out. We'll just see. You know, it didn't happen. Didn't happen. People just loved on them there. The pastor there visited our support group years ago when the church was still a small church because he had a heart for that community. Do you know that the homosexual community, and I'm talking men and women here, they're the most unreached people group on earth, probably. We spend millions of dollars sending people all over the world, and we don't minister to the homosexual population that's right here under our noses in an unconditional way.
Okay. All right. So in closing, I would just like to say, if I could have a message to give to the church today, it would be that to look at Jesus' ministry, he went to people who were sinners. He went to people who he would give his love to. He didn't judge them. He said he came to love the world and to die for the world, not to judge the world. That'll happen later. Right now, our mission is to love the world, and we have the love of God that no other religion has. We have the love of Jesus and the Father and the Holy Spirit, that, you know, we are different from every other religion. Our God is love. I don't know if Buddha is love. I haven't heard that before, but that's what our God is. And for the church to reach out to people that are hurting and needy, and not to judge them. And I know you want to say that their gay lifestyle is against God, but let God deal with that. Try to bring them into the church, show them God's love and His grace. And, you know, the truth is always very important, but the truth is not something to beat up someone over the head with. And if you can't do it in love, you don't do it at all.
I attended a church in San Antonio for a while, and they would allow us to get baptized on Wednesday nights. So one Wednesday night, I signed up to get baptized, and they allow you to share a little bit about your testimony before you get immersed. And so I did so. I shared that struggle with SSA. And every week after that, there was a brother in church who would make a beeline for me, and he would find me, and he would come look at me, and he would smile at me and say, "How are you doing, brother?" And just those 4 words, but that was powerful. I think basically what he was saying, I think at the core, if you'd ask him, was, "You're my brother before I knew that you struggled with this, and you're my brother now." And we have a commonality in our dependence on Christ. And in my heart, it doesn't make any difference. You're still my brother. And that was real healing. That was real healing in my heart. And I had the chance to talk to him about how much that really helped. And he was nonchalant. He said, "I'm just glad you're my brother." But it was I think a part of the Lord healing a bridge between me and just men in general. And
I was working out at the gym, And evidently, I can tell the crowds of the gym, they have all different dynamics of people, and I just noticed a certain group of people was coming in. They came from a religious Christian church, I can tell, just the way they carried themselves. And one of the guys, evidently they had some sort of seminar or meeting or something. You can tell they're all charged up, and one guy just came up and looked at me and says, "You know what, son? God hates people like you." And he could tell, he knew I was gay. And a friend of mine, who I was on a treadmill, worked out right next to me. He says, "Did I hear what he said?" And I said, "Yeah, you heard it. I heard it too." And he walked off. You can tell just by his body demeanor that he felt like, oops, maybe I did say something that I'm not so sure about. But he walked off real quick and disappeared. And I kind of sat there and stewed a little bit, to the point where I said, you know what? I told my friend, I need to find a manager and get rid of this guy. And right when I got off the treadmill, there was a guy, he walked clear from another side of the room. He looked at me and says, "Look, I heard what that guy said to you. And the God I know does not see you that way. He loves you and values you. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life." And I remember after hearing that message from him, I was really conflicted. I was baffled. And I was still in the midst of my anger with this guy. I wanted to really find a way to get this guy kicked out. My friend was saying, "You need to call the police. He's harassed you." And I kind of got blown away. I just thought what this guy just told me. And later, after I finished my workout, I went and talked to this guy. I said, "I want to hear more what you have to say. And I like to let you hear how I feel too." And you know what? He took me on. We met and we talked. And after that, he invited me to his church.
I went to the Exodus conference in June of 2012, and as I was sitting there listening, I grasped a new concept. I seemed to be hearing a lot of grace, and grace was something that I felt like I desperately needed in my life, to whereas previously I had heard about performance. I needed to do certain things to get to that grace point. And at times I felt like, I'll never get there, I'll never get there, I'll never accomplish it. And then the grace kept pouring in, and it gave me freedom, it liberated me, and it made me feel like, okay, I can do this. If I do mess up, it's okay, it's not good, I've sinned, but I don't have this heavy weight hanging over my head anymore. When the grace concept got well planted within my mind, I figured out that I can do this, that I can make it.